My parents always say, no matter how busy life gets, you should always sit down and enjoy a proper meal when you get hungry. What I like to do is stack my plate up high, then squash it all down, take a deep breath, and wolf it down in one go. That way. Strength is one of those things where you gotta use it or lose it. So, wanna train with me sometime? My parents always say, no matter how busy life gets, you should always sit down and enjoy a proper meal when you get hungry. What I like to do is stack my plate up high, then squash it all down, take a deep breath, and wolf it down in one go. That way. There's a lot that goes into managing an orchard. Watering, weeding, fertilizing the soil, making sure the temperature is right. But most importantly, you have to keep the fruit in a good mood. Strength is one of those things where you gotta use it or lose it. So, wanna train with me sometime? My parents always say, no matter how busy life gets, you should always sit down and enjoy a proper meal when you get hungry. What I like to do is stack my plate up high, then squash it all down, take a deep breath, and wolf it down. Strength is one of those things where you gotta use it or lose it. So, wanna train with me sometime?
Testing, testing. Can you hear your beautiful voice? Testing, testing. Testing, can you hear your beautiful voice? I am audible. Voice, testing, testing. Ooh, what's up? Actually, why am I doing a regular jump? This is way more fun. Twitch! It's your Lord and Savior King D353. I've never streamed a Let's Play Genshin Impact. Sorry for not seeing my mid-ass model, but my computer keeps lighting on fire. So I'm gonna need to figure out why my computer has suddenly decided that it can no longer play Genshin Impact, even though in the past it was perfectly fine playing Genshin Impact. So yeah, for the foreseeable future, Genshin is a PS5. Anyway, it's your Lord and Savior King feed more Genshin Impact, and today, after I make an alcoholic beverage because I have no self-control...
My parents always say, no matter how busy life gets, you should always sit down and enjoy a proper meal when you get hungry. What I like to do...
Look at this beautiful Gordon Ramsay-looking motherfucker behind me. You see her? See her cute little face and her cute little hats? Yeah, she's the focus of today's stream. Because we're going to be taking on Escoffier's character story. Although you guys aren't going to get to see the opening scene of her character story because, I may have done a little fucky-wucky and accidentally triggered the scene 1 of her character story. And since I'm on the PS5, I can't pull up video of the scene, so you're just gonna have to not have seen the scene. I'll tell you what happened though. So story time. Escoffier's scene starts off when you go to the Hotel de Bois. You'll find Navia outside the hotel, watching a conversation happen. To trigger the scene and start Escoffier's character story, you move over to Navia. Paimon will be like, Navia, there you are, how are you doing? She'll be like, hush, shut up, Paimon, there's important shit going on here. Well, she doesn't say that, she just says, shh. And we notice that there's a conversation happening nearby. A head chef is yelling at her sous chef about how worthless she is, and that if she can't do the job right, get the fuck out of my kitchen! So anyway, as she's tearing into this girl, Paimon's like, hey, I've been bullied enough by the Traveler. I will not stand by and watch someone else get bullied. Unless it's by me. So Paimon goes up and is like, yo, leave this girl alone. What's your problem? Hear out your customers. He's like, bitch, who are you talking to? Is that Navia in the back? So once she notices Navia behind Paimon, we then get the knowledge of the situation. One of the members of the Spina de Rasula is actually was working as a cook. But this lady has apparently overworked that member of the Spina de Rasula so much that they are fucking bedridden. That plus the fact that this other person is being wrung out. Essentially, the kitchen staff seems to be going under high-level stress. We don't know for sure. What we do know for sure is that this lady has no plans in giving any leniency to the 6th Spina de Rasula member, and is going to run the kitchen however the hell she damn well pleases. She then calls in the person she was just yelling at. Apparently we pissed her off so much that she forgave them, simply to end the conversation, and they went on their merry way. Navia then tells her the situation. We got some, apology candies from somebody in the kitchen, although it was probably less apology candies and more a cry for help, because inside the apology candies wrappers was a message. Find Escoffier. Navia said we'll find Escoffier down in Passan, so we're going to Passan now. Well, sorry, not Passan. The Spina de Rasula have 2 places, Passan and somewhere else I can't remember the name of. We're going to that other place I can't remember the name of, not Passan. The Fleuve Cendre. We're going to the Fleuve Cendre, not to Passan. Anyway, if that little story time over, We aren't going to do a warm-up today because I already started the stream late due to trying desperately to get my computer to work. So, no warm-up, we're just going to go right into the quest. Well, say the warm-up was me blabbing to you about what scene you missed.
So, who is this Escoffier, anyway?
Oh, also, for the record, I know people on YouTube are going to be like, oh, so you're going to edit the first scene on like a good content creator, right? No, because I don't have the patience for that. If you want to say it's a bad job because of that, completely understandable. I don't blame you. I'm not doing it. Also, I'm pretty sure the stream for Thursday has literally 0 views, so that's on you for not watching my shit.
Well, for starters, she used to be the head chef at the Hotel de Boer, before Savannah. She recreated the legendary Gâteau de Boer and restored the restaurant back to its former glory.
Yep, still 0 views. I don't know what that Genshin video did to y'all.
Safe to say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Boer's history, after the culinary genius Modeste himself.
Gâteau de Boer? That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell a few slices a day, right? Wow. Why the heck would she let Savannah take her place?
Well, apparently, the Hotel de Boer was reported for a safety incident. Someone claims that the kitchen was adding an illegal substance to their menu. But none of the chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food. In the end, Escoffier decided that as head chef, she should take responsibility. And she was sent to the Fortress of Meripede.
What?
Fortress of Meripede?
You know what? I guess that makes sense. It was an illegal ingredient. Oh, don't be so dramatic. It was probably just a formality. We got sent there for just eating someone else's cake.
Well, you're right. The quantity of the substance they found was fairly minimal. Even the guards believed the whole thing was probably just an accident. Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress for long, but still, by the time she returned, the role of head chef had already passed to Savannah.
So that's what happened. Paimon still thinks it's really unfair.
Yes, we know. If you guys like somebody, they don't have to face consequences. We get it. I do respect Escoffier for taking the hit, though. That's very respectable of her. One of these days I will read a thesaurus.
Even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel, she's still well respected by the staff. So, I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to try and negotiate with Savannah on the staff's behalf.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Monica wants Escoffier to come back and kick Savannah out!
Probably.
It's simple. If the new head chef is stressing everyone out, then the solution is just get the old one back.
Well, about that...
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to serve after 3.5 minutes on the stove! You'd have had more sense serving hot water with ice cubes. At least then you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom. What do you say, Hilaire?
So yeah, this is just how chefs are.
I'm sorry, Cream.
It's a fucking child! Oh my god!
As you can see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
How has the Hotel de Boer made it this far?
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors the chance to come out. Don't be fooled by the aroma when the water first starts to boil. Got it?
Yes, Chef.
Then go back and do it again. The customers are still waiting. Remember where you went wrong and don't repeat the same mistake twice.
Yes, Chef.
Yeah, maybe it's a good thing I didn't take that one cooking job I was offered.
Excuse us,
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy. I'm afraid you have to join the line.
Oh, no, we're not here to eat.
Then get out, I'm
So
guessing.
you're not paying customers. Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can catch up while we wait.
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy here?
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary head chef.
She didn't want to go back to Hotel de Bois?
Well, in her words, the Hotel de Bois doesn't need her anymore. It doesn't look like she's got any plans to go back.
I guess I'll be heading off then.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Oh, thank you, Chef.
Was he going to balance the plate all the way home?
Like I said, I just don't want them going to waste. Oh, and tell Fiamma to get well soon, so you're not running yourself ragged every single shift.
Alright, so we have a massive tsundere here. It's going to screech at everybody. We're going to be like, but she actually cares, so it's okay. No, get some anger management lessons, please. You don't have to screech everything, woman.
Fiamma. That's the second time we've heard that name. Who is that again?
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son. And with Mom stuck at home taking care of Dad, he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take home.
Hey, I heard that, Navia.
God damn! Run!
I've told you before, no one's making extra food. Hilaire is making blunders in the kitchen, and I can't serve his failed dishes, so he might as well take them home.
Yeah, failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally complete every single time.
So you two must be the world-famous traveler and his companion, Paimon. Yes? Is there something I can help you with?
Why does even your casual voice sound angry? Do you need a hug, woman?
Oh, so you know us already.
Who doesn't?
We're here to talk about Savannah.
Since Hilaire is working for you, you must be aware of the situation with Savannah.
Oh, I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And I've lost count of the number of times Navi has come to pester me about it. But I don't work for the Hotel de Bois anymore. And being ex-head chef doesn't give me the right to interfere with that business. Besides, I'm the one who persuaded Savannah to take the job in the first place.
What?
Well, she was a much gentler person back then. A little timid, even. She wasn't at all confident that she was the right fit for the role.
That's hard to believe. Are we definitely talking about the same Savannah here?
She's likely just copying Escoffier's personality.
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either.
At least she's self-aware.
Anyway,
Also, does she have a heart on her
suffice to
hands?
say that given the history between us,
She has a heart on her hands.
Tell her she's doing her job wrong.
Why do you have a
without
heart on
coming
your
across like a
hands?
Huge hypocrite.
Is that a tattoo?
Fiamma and the others probably think that Savannah gets it all from me.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Escoffier. Look at this note we got from Monica.
You give Monica's candy wrapper to
She
Escoffier.
mentioned me.
Whatever shortcomings you feel you have, it looks like Monica still trusts you. As for the others, well, how can you know what they think unless you ask them?
Monica.
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell. We're only in the initial phase of our investigation. All we're trying to do is get the other chefs to open up to us.
Oh, Monica. Oh, Monica.
Escoffier?
I can't believe her. powdered sugar is supposed to be applied sparingly. Look at all that on the wrapper. It's like on the sole of my shoe. Unbelievable. I won't stand for this. She has to learn. Come on, we're going.
Yep, she's just a very, very aggressive tsundere.
Wait, so now she's,
Well, whatever the reason she came up with, at least she's convinced herself to go have a conversation.
Let's go catch
A
up.
conversation or a screaming
We don't wanna
match?
keep her waiting.
I see things to pick up. Yes, I know he's refreshed every day. I don't care if it's, like, right there and not super out of the way. I'm gonna grab it. Also, wait, should I be doing this or should I just be teleporting? I should just be teleporting. Teleporting is faster. Wouldn't teleporting be faster? I know that's not the line. Shut up. I still can't believe I accidentally triggered the cutscene like a moron. I was trying to do my, Cheval Moran Film Festival stuff.
Wait, she looks like... Is that Escoffier?
Escoffier's back? Yes, I've missed... I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Guess we're going upstairs. But yeah, like I said, I was doing my film festival stuff, and I wanted to trigger the Velvet character.
I'm so sorry. I messed up your order.
Shut up for a second. And, they don't give you, like, lines to the person. They just appear on the mini-map, and you have to walk to them that way. But I'm so used to following the mission lines that I assume, oh, I told you to navigate to this person. So the mission lines are going to tell me where they are. No, they did not. So I just ended up triggering this mission, which was active even though I told it not to fucking be. And thus I triggered the opening cutscene.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe the taste is a little off, but if you hadn't brought it up, I don't think I would have noticed.
Oh, well, nice job fucking yourself over.
But please, you have to forgive me or Chef is gonna... Okay, I know. I'll kneel before you.
Calm down, lady.
What the heck?
God, she must be fucking scarred.
Monica, can't you see that you're just making your customer feel more awkward?
Escoffier?
If you want forgiveness, then do what any self-respecting chef would do. Make the dish again. And this time, get it right. You cannot go begging your customers to feel sorry for you.
Hey, look at that! She's giving a lesson without raising her voice and acting like an asshat! What a shock!
Savannah said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen until I've corrected my mistake. But if I can't go back into the kitchen, I can't do the dish over.
that's some backwards logic. How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook? If this is what Fermat had to put up with, then no wonder he had a breakdown.
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway. I was actually quite enjoying my meal until she appeared out of nowhere and started apologizing. Gave me a bit of a fright, to be honest.
Oh, well, it's because Chef Savannah tasted a bit of the leftover soup from my pot and then threw me out of the kitchen.
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way? I don't recall things being like this when Escoffier was head chef here. I gotta say, you're all looking a little worse for wear these days.
I mean, Escoffier was strict too, but I think the difference is that her criticism was more constructive, so you knew what you did wrong and how to improve, and we all knew that it came from a good place. Chef Escoffier was hard on us because she truly wanted us to reach her level. But these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, or just do it again. And it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier had started working again in the Fleuve Cendre.
Monica, you don't need to call me chef. I'm not the boss here anymore.
Yeah, but through no fault of your own, what happened back then, that wasn't on you, and all of us know that. That banquet was a huge event, and so many staff were involved every step of the way. With so many moving parts, there's no way of knowing how that Lumiline ended up in the food we served.
That Lumiline. That's the name of the... No, those are Lumidew spells. What the fuck is a Lumiline?
Lumiline? What's that?
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute, produced from an extract of the Lumitoile. Apparently it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired responses to stimuli.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds. Makes things pretty addictive.
Not smart.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage. So it quickly ended up on the guards' list of controlled substances. Unfortunately, however, some food products containing the additive had already made it to the market by the time the guards banned it from the restaurant industry.
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated ingredients by mistake. But you took all the blame. We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a place where tensions are constantly running high. Because everyone's suspicious of each other all the time. And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but come on. It's not that bad, is it?
Oh, the Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great. That's where I'm dining from now on.
And they lost a customer.
Monica, I'm very happy with my current job. And there's no changing the past. We just have to let bygones be bygones. Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was. Ultimately, the responsibility lay with me.
If only Savannah was half the boss you were.
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as head chef?
No, chef.
I just realized that Escoffier doesn't have a hairnet or even her hair tied up. All the other chefs have their shit correct. Girlie over here has short hair, so, well, she should still actually have it tied up, even if it's short. That's besides the point. She here has her hair in a bun. Escoffier has absolutely nothing stopping those massive golden locks from getting into food.
So, you do remember who's boss?
Those bangs should be tied up too, actually. Not bangs. What do you call those side things?
I thought you'd left this place for good. What are you doing back here?
I don't know what you call those side things. Those should be tied up, though.
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this? When I turned this place over to you,
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job. You're not the boss here anymore, so stop acting like you own the place.
Whoa. Sounds like someone has a chip on her shoulder.
Maybe we should give them some space. Yes, please. I don't want to listen to this.
Oh, Savannah! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you?
She got it from you, Mom.
Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand marcotte, thinking no one can tell the difference?
Wait, what?
That's none of your business!
What happened to not storming in and raising hell?
Ho ho! I was not expecting to see something this spicy as soon as Escoffier returned.
Oh. Hello, sir. You're the most French Frenchman I've ever heard in this region.
Huh? Van Agem?
Who?
Aye, miladies. Might I make a humble suggestion? Given that we have ourselves a tête-à-tête between chefs at the Hôtel de Bord, I dare say it would be de rigueur to settle this the traditional way.
This man has more French blood in him than the entirety of Fontaine.
The traditional way? That can only mean one thing.
Another cook-off? Sounds like we're in for a history lesson.
That's right. I'm talking, of course, about the tradition established by Modeste himself. The cooking contest!
Yay, are we gonna help her like we did Zhang Ling?
According to legend, the founders of Hotel de Boer, Modeste and Savelli, used this method to resolve all of their disputes. Everything from petty arguments over next week's menu to disagreements over the strategic direction of the restaurant. The cooking contest would decide who had the final say.
Huh. Sounds like they had a lot of free time on their hands.
Well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous role in motivating chefs to hone their skills, reaching new heights of excellence in the culinary arts. And indeed, the reintroduction of this institution in recent years has surely been instrumental in transforming the Hôtel de Bord into the top-ranking restaurant in Fontaine.
Reintroduction? Someone brought it back? Who?
What say you, Escoffier? Surely you of all people won't back down from this challenge. It was you who put the rule in place, after all.
She did. Thought so. There's your answer, Paimon.
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hotel de Boer anymore. Isn't this bending the rules a little?
I see no issue as long as both sides agree to the terms. We could simply treat it as an exhibition of sorts. Savannah, any objections?
Exhibition. Huh. No. If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line. If I lose, it's up to you what happens to me.
Why would you do
I don't want
that?
anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hand over the Codex de Boer to me.
The what?
What? The Codex de Boer?
What's the Codex de Boer? Please tell me one of my options is what's the Codex de Boer? The Codex de Boer? What is that?
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including Gâteau de Boer. It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world. And only the present and former head chefs of the Hotel de Boer have the right to read it.
Wait, why doesn't she have it already then?
Wait, but that already includes Savannah, though.
Yeah, what the hell?
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy, don't you?
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well what I mean. I want your copy. The original version. The one you took with you when you left us.
Why does she have the original?
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy, right? They contain the exact same recipes.
I mean, the original probably has more value monetarily, as well as more value emotionally, as it belonged to the first head chef.
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me? Or are you scared of me getting my hands on the original Codex?
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift, to thank Escoffier for her years of service. Asking for it back feels a little,
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the terms. Those were your words, weren't they? And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Boer, per the recipe in the Codex. Well, Escoffier, you against me. Are you in or out?
You sound surprisingly confident. All right then, let's see how much you've actually grown. I hope you surprise me, Savannah. I'd hate to find out that all you've learned after this long is how to chew people's heads off.
They seem to work on faces, apparently. Why does she have a happy expression as she's saying this? She looks like she's having the best day ever. Actually, it's not even happy, it's neutral. It's not even, like, overjoyed happy. It's the neutral, generic happy. Why do you look like that? You should be angry or at least stern.
Believe me, I'll show you.
Escoffier, are you sure this is a good idea? You accepted her terms a little hastily.
Oh, it'll be fine. Let's head back to the Fleuve Cendres so I can get prepping.
I do apologize. This whole ordeal reflects rather poorly on us.
Wait, aren't you the boss? Can't you rein in Savannah a little?
I'm afraid it's not quite that simple. The Hotel de Bord runs as more of a partnership, you see. It was founded by two friends, Modeste and Savelli, and it's been that way ever since. So, while I am technically Savannah's boss, it's not really my place to interfere with the business of the kitchen. To be perfectly honest with you, that's part of the reason why I suggested a cooking contest. If Escoffier wins, it would be the perfect opportunity for her to talk some sense into Savannah. Or, of course, if she wanted to return, then... but anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Whatever the outcome, this contest will hopefully serve as a turning point for us. Please, pass on my best wishes to Escoffier. I must say, Savannah surprised me with her confidence. Does she really believe she can best Escoffier in the kitchen? I thought she was just blowing off steam when she first raised the idea to me.
I can't believe I got to witness that firsthand. I only stopped by here for a quick meal. I definitely got my Mora's worth today.
Oh, excuse me? Kapow!
So, this whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere. Was it really sensible to just go along with it?
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So if she won't talk, this might be the best way to find out what's really going on with her.
Huh? Holding back? Sure didn't sound that way to Paimon.
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. Always closed off, never letting you know what she really thinks.
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Okay, that's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
So, anyway, what's this Codex de Bois she's so obsessed with?
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous influence on the course of Fontaine cuisine, turning it into a much more vibrant and diverse scene. For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Bourg was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures. So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever tasted. Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hotel de Bourg, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world. Especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius, and over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Bourg.
Ah, Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hotel de Bourg took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come. Something like that?
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last century? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime.
I just realized her headpiece is sporks.
The end of the Hotel
I hate
de
it.
Bourg's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place with a couple of cheap tables. It's only in recent decades that it started recovering. Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liu's martial arts novels, where the main character learns all their secret powers from.
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality. You can't meet the tastes of modern diners by following some ancient recipes from a dusty old book.
Am I the only one that always rolls my eyes when a video game or anime or book is like, well, that's fiction and this is reality? It's like, shut the fuck up.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bourg they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why though? Didn't that recipe make it into the codex?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modest wrote about. So
we're gonna find it, aren't we?
Reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the codex. But ultimately, the Gâteau de Bourg today is my own recipe. As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Venegem's business sense to thank for that.
Oh. Huh. Well, that kind of takes all the mystique out of it.
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And who knows, maybe Escoffier's version is more suited to your palate. Just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right? Not to mention that the Hotel de Bourg never would have fallen into a slump.
Wait, it fell into a slump?
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savannah.
So why is she so interested in the original copy?
Again, the original copy would have both more monetary value and sentimental value.
Could it be a symbolic thing? Like, whoever holds the original Codex de Bourg is the true head chef?
Well, it was clearly precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Meanwhile, Savannah only got a copy. Maybe from her point of view, it's like management doesn't truly see her as being worthy of the role.
You think so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to gift me the original in the first place. Well, a joint decision by her and Venegem. But still.
Okay, now I'm confused. Is she, like, bitter towards Escoffier, maybe? I don't...
What? Huh. Guess she's had a major change of heart since she became head chef. Yeesh.
Who knows? We could speculate forever. Better to just let our Gâteau do the talking.
What does that mean, exactly?
It means vesting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to explain herself, even if I have to beat it out of her with a spatula.
You don't mince words. Also, please don't beat it out of her with a spatula.
However much she's changed since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride.
What are we working
with
with
here?
here?
If she respects the art, she'll respect the outcome of our contest.
Sorry, I'm curious about the background. Let's see. We have some type of steam vent. I'm assuming that's an old school pot. A bag of flour. 2 potions, which may or may not be hot sauce. Some dough that's clearly rising. Some more sauces. Some more dough. A shit ton of Citsetias. And then a singular orange ball.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Froment. All you need to do now is win the contest. But that should be a breeze for you.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gâteau de Bourg is very complicated to make. Usually, it takes 3 chefs working in tandem to cover everything.
Yep, so even if we use... basically, I'm guaranteed to help. This is a question of, is the third chef going to be Navia or Paimon?
Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I'd prefer to play it safe if I can find a couple of assistants in time.
Actually, no, it's definitely going to be Navia, because Navia is a baker. So yeah, her, me, Navia.
Well, that's easy. The 3 of us are veterans in the kitchen. You just need to pick 2 of us.
I'm sorry, Paimon, what have you ever cooked?
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be warned, I will hold you to exceptionally high standards. Think you're up to the task?
I look forward to being yelled at for little to no reason.
Oh, count in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathing review.
Hey, I like them extra sweet. Don't listen to her.
Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it. I'll show you what I'm made of.
We're on the same team, Navia.
Confident. I like it. Alright, let's start with some elementary mise en place. Show me your knife skills.
As per usual, Paimon does nothing. Show Escoffier your knife skills. Use normal attacks to cut the fruit. It seems he will collect the slices and process them into some sublime substance?
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
I just spammed the
Thankfully, it was pretty
O
straightforward
button.
in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Ah, so it's apples, sunsettias, and are those oranges? Do oranges exist in Genshin? I mean, I guess they do. They're right there. Wait, no, that's not oranges. That's bullet fruits. So we have apples, sunsettias, and bullet fruit.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. I'll be using this cold press to extract flavor compounds from the ingredients.
Oh, that's what that was. What's a cold
A
press?
kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses cold temperature extraction to isolate the essence of cooking ingredients, which can then be used to flavor dishes more precisely. But this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me give you a demonstration instead.
Display your mastery of the cold
The
press.
difference in your case is that mise en place is chopping stuff up without sending juices flying all over the kitchen.
Display your mastery of the cold press. Tap your elemental skill to accelerate the cold press's progress. Then use normal attacks to let it do its work. Seems like the special substance extracted from the plates might come in handy here.
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Paimon's never used anything with...
And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients.
Where do those hearts
all the
coming
fruit you
from?
chopped up earlier.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. What next? Do we add all this stuff in?
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. We have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want. I'll demonstrate again. Now, watch closely.
Ah, this time they're not finishing the line I skipped. Learn at Escoffier's feet and master her precision cooking. The flavorings you got from her multifunctional food processor can adjust the flavor profile of the dish. Strike a balance between fruity flavors, floral flavors, and adjust said flavor profile, and make the dish delicious.
Slowly and carefully. Not a drop too much, and not a drop too little.
Looks like we need more of the blue. We want it at 5, 6, 7, 8. We want it at 8. So 5 more, and then 1 red. I feel like instead of a balance between floral and fruity, I would have preferred more fruity, but that's me. With Escoffier's guidance, everyone completes the flavoring process.
Not terrible. Considering this was everyone's first time blending flavor extracts, it could have been worse. But the Traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this before? You got almost perfect results on your first try.
I'm the main character, I'm good at everything. All thanks to my excellent teacher. I guess I just trusted like an adventurer's puzzle.
Oh, well, they do say adventurers are multi-talented folks. Now I've seen it firsthand.
Does that mean Fischl's good at everything too? I very much like the idea that Fischl is good at everything.
Alright.
Except being normal.
I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the Hotel de Boer's current menu. I'll judge your submissions and give you a final score.
Final score?
That's right. The true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. It'll be good practice for the contest itself. Now get to it. Chop chop!
Yes, chef.
How's it going? Have you picked a dish yet? Choose wisely. I expect you to present the most delicious thing on the menu.
So just give her a delicious dish. Here you go. Delicious.
Look at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose, as I like to say. Now, let the grating commence.
I probably won't get a great score, so I just gave her a green item, but I didn't want to waste the blue.
Pretty good, right? Not to brag or anything, but Paimon's a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to la food.
Yell at Paimon. I normally don't like when people are overly aggressive and quick to yell and lash out at others, but yell at Paimon.
6 points.
What? Oh, well, fair enough. Paimon doesn't cook all that often, so as long as it's a pass.
That's 6 out of 100.
Well, fuck! Get fucked, Paimon!
You say you're a connoisseur, but it's quite clear from this dish that you have far more experience consuming food than creating it. By that logic, I suppose you think listening to Lady Farina on repeat every day would make you an opera singer.
Aww.
I thought Farina was an actress, not a singer.
I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole tablespoons less sugar than my previous ones.
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out. Because it tastes like you just threw in whatever was left in the jar. 6 points.
Aww.
Yikes, she's a harsh judge.
Now to the final dish.
So, what do you think?
This is our last hope.
8 points.
God damn! She gonna surprise me, but out of 10?
That's barely higher than what we got.
Out of 10.
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation.
But
I have to give this one 8 points out of 10. Maybe even 9 points.
yay, what a twist.
How did you pull that off?
Also, why did you fake us out? Don't be a jerk. It's all the practice from cooking for you, Paimon.
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can tell that you've put many hours of work into honing your skills in the kitchen. I can really taste the grace of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks. Not to mention the frustrations of having a picky eater for a partner.
Hey, you made that last part up! No way did you taste that!
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square. I guess you'll be taking the Traveler as one of your assistants then?
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining. Maybe Paimon and Navia should keep practicing and see how it goes?
I'm guessing the chef that's currently dying will be deferred.
Chef Escoffier.
Oh, it's Hilaire. What brings you
I don't know, the dying chef's
I
son.
heard the news about the cooking contest. You're doing Gâteau de Bourg, right? I was just wondering if you needed any help.
Huh. And you think you're up to the task, do you?
Oh, no, I know.
He's
I'm
definitely
not
higher
there
than a
yet.
6 out of 100.
It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Oh, it is the dying man. Sup, my dude? God, you look so sad.
Firma, last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, Traveler, thank you all so much for everything you're doing for me and my family. I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me, I'd like to help you win this cooking contest.
Are you sure you're up for the task, Firma?
Yeah. I was gonna say the same thing.
Was it for my forgot?
Don't you worry. I'll be fine. I'm feeling much better now. I'm sorry. I know I've been rather useless these past few days, but not anymore.
You're allowed to be sick, my dude.
I'm a fine chef, despite recent events. I've proven myself in the Hotel de Boer kitchen, so if anyone's qualified to work under Chef Escoffier, it's me. I think. I mean, I hope so.
Firma, have you even set foot in a kitchen since leaving Hotel de Boer?
I have not, but I'm fully rested now. I know I can handle it. I'll prove it. Let me whip something up for you right now.
That knife looks like it's made out of ice.
Huh? That's strange. Why are my hands shaking?
Too much pressure, I'm guessing?
What do you call this, Firma?
Oh god, he has PTSD?
I seem to grip my knife.
Do it again! Again!
Girl gave him PTSD?
I...
Hopeless. Get out of my kitchen yesterday.
Dad, what's wrong?
I don't understand. I was feeling so much better, and then Will I never be able to work in a kitchen again?
Dad, talk to me. What happened?
I think the real issue here is not physical exhaustion, but psychological trauma.
Monica, when did you get here?
Even I didn't notice you arrive.
Probably because you were all concentrating so hard on your cooking. I didn't want to interrupt your flow. But anyway, Firma, I'm so sorry. If only I'd known how serious your situation was, I would have stood up for you sooner.
You have nothing to apologize for, Monica. During those long nights of redoing every order, you were the only person who looked out for me.
Oh, come on. All I did was make you some tea. I doubt it was much help. Savannah was so ruthless toward you. I probably should have brought you something stronger.
She sounds like the worst. All right, another Savannah horror story. Let's hear it.
She's been getting harsher and harsher on us ever since she heard about Escoffier's new role in the Fleuve Cendre. Seems like no matter what we make, she'll find something wrong with it.
She's just insecure?
Dog's been at it! In the trash now!
Yeah, she's just insecure at this
She orders
point.
us to redo the dish again and again, but we never know what's going to make her happy.
Okay, I'm starting to get hungry.
Do it again! Every time you remake it, you just get another earful from her. Either straighten yourself out, or get out of my kitchen!
So now, it seems like just picking up a kitchen utensil gives me flashbacks of her yelling at me.
Oh, man. That must be awful.
The more I want to get it perfect, the more my hands shake, and the more scared I am of making another mistake.
How can you give up so easily, Firma? You weren't a quitter when you were working for me.
Doesn't sound like he's giving up easily.
Savannah, you talk about working late into the night trying to perfect your dishes. That says to me that you still hadn't lost that determination to prove yourself. What changed?
I don't know what's come over me. When I think back, I just remember feeling like my heart and my hands were growing heavier and heavier as the shift went on. Each time I had to redo a dish, my heart sank a little further. Maybe Savannah was right. Maybe I am just hopeless at this.
Dad.
I see. Well, it sounds like there are some deep issues at work here. Ones that won't be resolved by merely seeking compensation. I will win this contest, and after that, I encourage you to approach Savannah and talk this out.
But what if you can't find another assistant in time? Clearly, I'm in no state to help out.
You think being one person short will ruin my chances? Let's not forget, I taught you and her everything you know. Even if I had to go it alone, I would present the perfect gâteau.
You're a little too confident, lady.
Paimon and Navia will still keep practicing, just in case.
And so will I.
Can I join your team?
And if worse comes to worse, we can always get the Spina di Rosula to put out an emergency call for chefs. There's gotta be someone out there, right?
The background character wants to join us.
I thought maybe I could help. That's sort of why I'm here.
Welcome aboard, turncoats.
Why didn't you say so?
I was going to, but then... well, this is the first chance I got.
Sorry, we'll stop
Do
talking.
this for us? Thank you so much, Monica.
Alright, fine by me. But aren't you still working for Savannah? Joining the other side seems like a guaranteed way to put your future employment in jeopardy.
I know, but it's alright. I've made up my mind. With the way things are, I can't keep working for Savannah much longer anyway. Unless I want to become the next Firma.
That was
I'm done with
mean.
sucking it up. It's time to try and turn things around. If this cooking contest can get Savannah to see the error of her ways, then I'm sure she'll forgive me for this.
I hope you're right.
Well, Paimon didn't think we'd be poaching from Savannah's staff to get our third person, but there you go. Anyway, Monica's a professional chef, so nothing could possibly go wrong now.
Great! Then it's settled. And to congratulate you all on making the team, I propose a Spina-sponsored meal to celebrate.
Spina sponsored? Wait, you mean I'm cooking?
Well, I promised the Traveler a feast in the Fleuve Cendre. And I know how much you've been looking forward to it.
Plus, it's your job, so get to work. I can help cook. It'll be a great practice for the contest. Why am I doing this?
Alright, if you insist, then prepare for some of the finest food of your lives.
Escoffier treats everyone to a spectacular feast. Escoffier opted for a huge variety of dishes. Thankfully, both of us are skilled enough that even though it's our first time working together, we had a good rapport.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Wait, hold on. You need to finesse that further.
She dished out plenty of praise and taught me an awful lot, too. This time seemed to fly by.
That was a dream come true. Paimon never knew Fontanian cuisine could be this good.
So, this is what Chef Escoffier is truly capable of.
Hey, I cooked too! Notice me, you prick.
Wow. I don't know if I'll ever be able to cook as good as that.
You'll get there, kid. Just gotta keep practicing and do your best. Wifey, how's the food?
I wish I could eat that all over again. It's not often that Escoffier goes all out like this. And it's all because of you, Traveler.
Again, I cooked too. Also, looks like Wifey has the itis. She's falling asleep on herself. Escoffier, where are you? Where is she?
Why, Savannah? Why?
What you up to, chef?
Oh, nothing. I was just flicking through the original Codex de Boer. I wanted to see if there was anything I'm missing. Something I hadn't noticed before. That might explain why Savannah's so desperate to get her hands on it. But I can't find anything. It's just some hastily scribbled recipes in between diary entries from Modest's adventuring phase. And most of it's not even legible anymore. The copy I gave her not only has all the recipes in full, but even includes my own private tips and notes from years of experience. Surely that's infinitely more useful than this old thing.
For her, it probably isn't about how useful it is, and more an issue of head chef's pride.
Yeah, maybe. Still, it's just hard for me to imagine that the Savannah I knew would go to all this effort just to make a point.
Were you both friends?
We were. At least I always thought we were. She was a little shy, but meticulous with everything and everyone she dealt with. She made a few mistakes here and there, but she was quick to correct them whenever they were pointed out. And she was always striving to improve as a chef. Those qualities are why I recommended her to replace me as head chef. I never imagined for 1 second that she'd cause Fiamma and the other staff so much grief.
It sounds like you feel pretty responsible?
Well, I mean to an extent, of course. I pushed hard for her to get the role. And the idea that she turned out like this because of me is difficult to come to terms with. I wonder if this is how Modeste felt back when he was writing the Codex.
Speaking of Modeste, didn't he ever fall out with someone as well?
Yes, with his good friend and co-founder of the Hotel de Boer, Savelli. The story goes that after Modeste unveiled his Gâteau de Boer and was hailed as a culinary genius...
Why is there an ice cream cone on it? Oh, is that ice cream up top?
But his newfound fame slowly drove him and Savelli apart. Unlike Modeste, whose every new creation was an instant hit, Savelli seemed to face setbacks every turn. Doors that would swing wide open for Modeste would shut in Savelli's face. And with Modeste being whisked off to all manner of functions by his celebrity friends, he had less and less time to discuss the culinary arts with Savelli. People started gossiping about Savelli, and their relationship between the two gradually soured.
So what happened to him ultimately?
Everything came to an abrupt end when Modeste, still in the prime of his life and still hailed as a genius, suddenly died from an acute illness. And that was it. They neither had a decisive split, nor got the chance to properly reconcile. Their story just came to an end. One rumor had it that Savelli actually killed Modeste out of jealousy, even as the latter was hoping to make amends.
Is that true?
Unlikely. It's a popular theory, but there's no real basis for it. At least there are no records of Savelli ever being convicted of a crime. Still, beyond a point, there's no way of knowing what truly happened in the past. All we can do is try to make sure the present doesn't quite go as badly. And that's why I have to win this contest tomorrow. Then get the truth about everything that's been going on, even if it means cracking her open like a nut.
With me on the team, there's no way we can lose. With you on the team, there's no way we can lose. Me, I'm self-confident.
Really? Well, I like the confidence. Don't let me down tomorrow, then. You better bring your A game.
No, I'm bringing my S game. Following day between noon and 4 p.m. I literally said noon, and then my dumbass went to... Oh, she disappeared!
It's Cooking Contest Day! To the Hotel de Boer! Toot sweet!
I love how this place just does not have a chef now. We have people waiting here for their food that will never come.
Did you hear the news? Escoffier's coming back for a cooking contest.
Wait, seriously? Escoffier in a cooking contest? Now that I've got to see.
I don't get it. Why would anyone in their right mind challenge her to a cooking contest?
None of your mouths are moving. I like that they had the group of three that's talking right here, but their mouths not moving is a bit,
Mesdames et messieurs, welcome one and all to the Hotel de Boer and to this most exciting of cooking contests.
Savannah, I brought the original copy of the Codex you asked for.
Monica? Huh.
In the interests of fairness, This contest will be conducted in a double-blind format. Once the dishes are complete, they will be sent to the back of the kitchen where they'll each receive a label.
Probably on the bottom of the
Labels
plates.
will be placed out of sight underneath the plates, only to be revealed after the judges have sampled them and reached a final verdict. This is to ensure that no one will know which dish is made by which contestant.
As one of the judges, I promise to be fair and impartial.
When my meal got interrupted yesterday, I never thought this is how they'd make it up to me. Getting a seat on the judging panel is a pretty sweet deal.
Both contestants have taken their positions.
Good for you, man.
Then, without further ado, let the Hotel de Bord cooking contest commence!
You guys are fucked. Complete the objective by using the minimum amount of flavorings to achieve a balanced flavor. Okay. Make some Goutte de Bourg using Escoffier's patented precise cooking. You can start the flavoring process at the seasoning table after obtaining the flavorings from the cutting board and cold press. Both flavoring types must be added in sufficient amounts to ensure richness of flavor. Add enough of both before aiming to balance the flavors out. This dish is a...
Monica, Traveler, it's go time. Let's do this.
Where's the cutting board?
Gaspar, get to work! Do not disappoint me.
Looks like our two head chefs are
Okay, that's
raring
enough.
to go. Like an oven on full blast, this competition is...
That should be enough flavoring. Now hurry up and balance the flavors.
Stop that. Alright, I need 4 of these. So 5, and then 1. And then bake. Bake in a volcano magic machine.
Come on, Escoffier! Come on, Traveler!
What are we thinking about? Make the next layer of cake. Is it the same method? Four, 2, 3.
A dash of frosting.
2, 4, 1.
Alphonse! What are you playing at? Not how I taught you to do it! Stop horsing around and do it again!
Alright, we're 4 in this direction, so 4 in that direction.
Right. But the quantity is too low.
Sorry, that's a thing now? Okay, so now I have 3 instead of 2, because I didn't realize I could have a low quantity.
So, what do you think?
Make the last layer of cake. What exactly is Aether doing? Five, 6, 2.
Up to the freezer.
Oh wait, what am I doing? I don't need.
Is already on the fight.
I could see the flavor. I didn't realize that. So we just need the 6 and the 2. Oh, I didn't have floral too? Damn it. Alright.
I think this flavor profile is still a little bit off.
I need a 2 for fruit.
Useless! Both of you! Make like an egg and beat it!
There we go.
Do it myself!
1 blue. Wait, no, we need 2 floral. Damn it. Okay, we need another floral.
Wow! Is Savannah serious? Can she really make up for lost
6.
time working alone?
Alright, so we'll do the 2, then the 6 and the 6. That one took a bit more of them to get, but I got it.
You can't match Escoffier's talent.
Now we decorate it.
I present to you Gâteau de Bourg.
So my burst is decorating a cake? Good to know. I don't know how enemies died of that. Can't believe this thing is literally topped with ice cream. What kind of bullshit? Blueberries, chocolate, and ice cream.
We were like a flock of snowing geese, completely in sync, working gracefully and elegantly together. Great work, team.
Probably could have done set 2 faster. Don't know if I could have done set 3 faster. Probably.
Time's up! Contestants, please take your dishes to the back.
I wonder if you could lose on purpose. Also, the judges can tell whose is who by the differences in decorations.
That guy was right. You really can't tell whose is whose just by looking at them.
We both made the same dish after all. For all her flaws, Savannah's a talented chef who earned my recommendation for good reason. She wouldn't screw up something as elementary as the cake's appearance.
Whoa! This is really rather good.
Wonderfully soft and fluffy. Beautifully sweet. This is a masterclass in how to make Gâteau de Bourg.
I would give this one at least 9.9 out of 10! Only because there's something about the flavor of the base. It's just a little different from the recipe I'm used to.
Huh? Really? I couldn't tell.
All right, on to Gâteau number 2. I haven't had a single bite and already this aroma is a delight to the senses.
I have a feeling that this gâteau will be a gâteau for the ages.
I want cake now.
Exciting! I'm gonna dig in. I think maybe someone got a little carried away when they were adding the sugar.
Not just the sugar, it's the flavors too. This is all over the place. Who made this?
It appears the decision is unanimous. This gâteau is far below the standard we would expect.
Wait, what happened to the top 2 layers of cake?
And Paimon thought this might actually be close. Turns out she can't bake to save her life.
Maybe it's because of poor teamwork? She spent half the time just berating her staff.
Something's not right here. Savannah may not be perfect, but no way is she this sloppy.
Plot twist, it's ours, that sucks.
I declare that the creator of the first gâteau has won this cooking contest. Now, all that remains is to turn the plate over and reveal...
Wait, did they gain layers? It was 1 layer before!
It's... Savannah?
No, that's impossible!
What, do you expect that someone cheated?
Hey, Savannah! You cheated, didn't you? You cheater!
God damn!
Oh, you swapped the plates, didn't you?
You can't... Paimon, you can't just yell
someone's
that.
a sore loser. These cakes went from the oven to the judge's table without me ever laying a finger on them. And everyone here can attest to that.
No, it didn't. Went to the
It's
kitchen
Vanish and
first.
staff who labeled them in the kitchen. If you're looking to accuse someone, why don't you start with them? Isn't it more likely that Escoffier's lost her edge? Oh, or maybe her assistants let the team down.
You take that back!
Judges, we demand a rematch.
Oh, was Monica here to sabotage us?
That's enough. What's done is done. As head chef, or rather, Anna, I didn't think you'd stoop this low just to beat me in a bake-off. What happened to your chef's pride?
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you want the Codex de Boer that much, you can have it.
Escoffier, no!
But you must promise me that you'll apologize to Firma and compensate him for everything you put him through.
It's a little late to be negotiating terms. The contest is over, and I won. That means you owe me the Codex, and I owe you nothing.
Look, Savannah, you may have fooled everyone else, but can you really fool yourself? What I'm offering is to accept defeat without looking to expose what you've done. But only on the condition that you promise to stop putting so much pressure on your staff.
Fine. I'll treat this as your final handover of duties from one head chef to the next. So, will that be all, ex-head chef? Or is there any other unfinished business you'd like to leave in my hands?
I didn't mean that to be a scolding from your former boss. Just a word of advice from a fellow chef and a friend. But I don't know if you're even open to input from other people anymore.
I know what I'm doing. I don't need your advice.
All right, fine. I'm glad to hear it.
Escoffier!
The Codex de Boer! Finally. Now, at long last, I will succeed.
Escoffier? How could you let her get away with this?
Yeah! The Codex is a souvenir of your time here! Doesn't that mean anything to you?
It's alright. It was just a bake-off, not the end of the world. I'm already over it. Besides, it's not all bad. She agreed to compensate Firma. That's mission accomplished for the Spina. Honestly, if I'd have known that giving her the Codex would solve everything, I'd have just done that in the first place. I mean, why bother with the whole cooking contest? It's such a waste of time and energy.
Oh, did we already figure out her tail shows her emotions? Because we're, like, focusing on it now. But Escoffier. Privately, I'm sure she's devastated. But what's done is done.
No. No! This doesn't make any sense!
Huh?
That's it? No secrets, no nothing? I don't believe it! This can't be happening.
Did she just faint?
Chef Savannah!
Savannah?
Hey, phone, can you stop exiting Twitch, please?
It's nothing life-threatening. Just a lot of pent-up stress and exhaustion.
Oh, I knew it.
Pent-up stress?
The truth is, however hard she might be on the rest of us, the person she puts the most pressure on is herself.
Yes, there are nights when she makes us redo things over and over into the wee hours. But for her, it's every night. She'll hide herself away in the kitchen, working on new techniques and recipes, and only realize how long she's been at it when we come to work the following morning.
But why? Why would she do that?
Our best guess is, she doesn't want to be seen as less of a chef than Escoffier.
And there it is.
Even so, that's no excuse for taking her anger out on the rest of you.
Yeah, and it's definitely no excuse for cheating in the cooking contest.
About that, we honestly have no idea how she did it. We were focused on our own work the whole time, like she asked.
Leone and Algalia were the ones I tasked with labeling the cakes. I've already spoken to them both. They're at a loss to explain it too.
Not to worry. Come on, join me downstairs. I'll interrogate the guilty Gateau myself.
Sorry, Monica, was it? We gotta kick your ass right quick.
Well, how is it? Have you figured out what it was?
Oh, this is aggravated assault on my palate. I'd rather eat wet cement than this.
Is it really that bad? I made sure to taste test it before it was served.
Oh, relax. This isn't your cake. Savannah never switched the plates. The offending flavors are coming from in between the icing and the cake base, which means someone tampered with it while it was being made. Or in other words, we have a traitor in our midst.
Get her. God, she's not even hiding it.
I was forced into it. It was Chef Savannah. She said if I didn't cooperate, she would...
Fire you?
Calm down, Monica. I've already accepted defeat. And if I wanted retribution, I would have brought this up when the results were announced. Whatever's going on with you, just spill the beans. There's no need to hide it.
I was the one who caused the food safety incident that one time.
Food safety? Wait, you mean the Lumaline incident? So you procured the contaminated ingredients?
I think so. Savannah and I were on procurement that day. I didn't check everything as well as I should have, and so I let contaminated ingredients make it into the kitchen.
So I'm guessing because Genshin is really strict about only the bad guys doing bad things, you know, except for the bad things they sweep under the mat because it's okay and our good guys are assholes. Savannah's gonna be one at fault for this.
But I swear I didn't do it on purpose. I had no idea there was an issue with them, and I didn't know it would end up with Escoffier going to jail. But the last thing I expected was for Savannah to use it as leverage to blackmail me with...
This is crazy! So Savannah pressured you into sabotaging Escoffier's cake by threatening to expose your secret if you didn't?
I know, it's terrible. I'm so sorry. I was so scared. The thought of Chef Escoffier finding out that I put her in jail, it made me freeze up with fear. I thought Escoffier would hate my guts if she ever found out, and yet somehow that's ended up in me doing something even worse.
Seriously? All this fuss over a little slip-up?
Huh?
Firstly, it's not like I got a life sentence. I did my stint at the fortress, and now I'm out. And secondly, I had my own reasons for leaving the Hotel de Boer. This wasn't the only factor. So, you don't need to feel ashamed or frightened or anything like that. Any more than you need to add butter when you're pan-searing foie gras.
You mean... you forgive me?
Oh, well...
Forgiving your request to be
you don't
angry.
have to take responsibility for your mistakes. You should tell Vanagem to mark down your performance for the past few months. Then do some digging and find out exactly where those contaminated ingredients came from. Sure, you've made mistakes, but now's the time to fix them. Understood?
Understood.
Funny where the contaminated ingredients came from sounds like a little bit much to me, but good on her for taking responsibility, I guess.
The original codex would compel her to resort to blackmail.
I have my suspicions. Not that I've got any proof to back them up, though.
What are they?
Ugh. What happened to me?
Stop
I've
looking at
overheard
numbers.
some customers murmuring about how the Hotel de Boer hasn't been the same since Escoffier left. They think our menu doesn't taste like it used to, especially our signature items.
You mean Gâteau de Bois?
Now that you mention it, I noticed it during the contest too. I couldn't put my finger on it, but the flavor seems subtly different from how it used to be. But the difference was so small, I'm sure no one would notice it besides our most loyal customers and true dessert connoisseurs.
Still, as head chef, it's easy to see why Savannah would get so hung up on it. So many times I've seen her make the cake base over and over again, late into the night, determined to match Escoffier's version. But something's always slightly off every time.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Never really gave it much thought, though.
Thinking back on it now, it's clear that Savannah's been in a downward spiral ever since Escoffier left.
She wants to prove that she can fill Escoffier's shoes. That's gotta be the reason. But after countless setbacks, she's getting more and more unhinged. And at some point along the way, she switched from doubting herself to doubting Escoffier.
Doubting Escoffier? For what?
She thought the codex from Escoffier was a fake.
Yeah, it would explain why she was bent on getting the original at any cost. She must have thought Escoffier purposely omitted key details from her recipes when she copied them out. Also, she could retain her place as the #1 chef in Fontaine, the only one privy to all the secrets of the trade.
Oh, for goodness sake. What a stupid idea.
Of course. Then she finally got the codex, only to discover that the secret recipes she's been pining for don't exist at all. Seeing how utterly wrong she was must have been a real shock to the system. It probably brought up everything at once. It overwhelmed her, and she passed out.
There's still one thing that doesn't make sense, though. If Savannah had the real recipe all along, how come it tasted different? She might not be on the same level as Escoffier, but surely after like 50 attempts, she'd get it right one of those times.
You'd think so, but geniuses like Escoffier are in a league of their own.
She's keeping the true recipe to herself.
New head chef, you say? What's her name? I don't think I've heard of her before.
I wonder, can the Hotel de Boer keep its edge without Escoffier at the helm?
This tastes different from last time. Is it undercooked or something?
It's just them being assholes.
Take this. It's a copy of the Codex de Boer. From now on, you will be its keeper. Don't listen to the doubters. If I say you can do it, then you can do it. Even if you don't believe in yourself, at least believe in me. Hey, did you hear me? Once I'm gone, the restaurant is all yours.
So you let the wormy lean into the kitchen.
All this time, I've been blaming other people, but maybe I'm the problem.
No, I think the customers are the problem.
I sincerely apologize for putting everyone out. Savannah's awake now, but I don't think she's ready to speak to anyone yet. Let's give her the day to calm down. I'm sure you'll have the chance to talk everything out tomorrow.
In that case, I'll go and update Vermont and his family. I wonder what he'll make of all this.
So, we'll come back tomorrow then.
Sure, let's go.
That was a long day. I think I've earned myself a sweet treat when I get back home.
Oh, nice! Macarons? Or are you gonna switch it up this time?
Could she even cook anything else? What's up, Escoffier?
Traveler, how much do you know about the snow-winged goose?
Little, I guess. Not.
Every year they migrate long distances in search of a suitable home. There's always one goose at the front whose job is to lead the flock. Fontaine poets often use the image of that goose to explore the ideas about leadership and genius. They usually imagine someone who's a cut above the rest, a model of perfection. But what those poets don't know is that during a migration, the lead goose is always changing.
Once the lead goose shows signs of fatigue, it retreats to the back of the flock and allows another goose to take its place. So the truth is that leadership, with all the responsibilities and pressures that come with it, it's something that everyone takes turns at. But we humans completely miss that fact when we project our own ideas about social hierarchies onto them.
Is this about you and Savannah?
I guess what I'm saying is, I don't buy into this notion that there's some sort of gulf between normal and genius. Cooking is a science, not magic. Given the same ingredients, same recipe, and same environment, I see no reason why two different people shouldn't be able to create the exact same dish. Of course, some people have a more sensitive palate than others, and some people are just born bolder or more conscientious. But these are all variables that can be accounted for with time and practice. I'd have no reason to expect so much from others if I believed that perfection can only come from the hands of a genius. The only reason I hold people to high standards is because, well, I believe they're capable of greatness.
I don't know if you're right, but I think that's a great thing to believe in.
Okay, I've made up my mind. I'm gonna get to the bottom of why Savannah failed. And come tomorrow, I'll give her the scolding of her life, pointing out all the mistakes she's made along the way. Then she'll finally see the error of her ways. Thank you for your words of encouragement. I'm gonna head to the Hotel de Boer and spend the night investigating. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Genius? Calling someone a genius is just another way of saying I'm too lazy to figure out how I need to improve. It's a defeatist attitude and I won't stand for it.
5 a.m. and 7 a.m. Yeah, I really do have to go the entire day. Alright, I don't know why the hell it was midnight to begin with, but sure, why not? I'll spend the whole night on it, she says when she means the whole next day.
Strength is one of those things where you gotta use it or lose it. So, wanna train with me sometime?
No. You would bench press me, lady.
Why are we here so early? Our meeting with Vanigem isn't for a while.
I wanted to check on Escoffier.
Check on her? Why? What happened? Oh no. Escoffier, are you alright?
I'm fine. Just need to get some more coffee in me.
You really did pull an all-nighter, huh?
Huh? What happened to my coffee? Did I really drink it all?
Let me get you a fresh one. For now, you should get some rest.
Alright. Thanks. I appreciate it.
No prob.
Well, there's cooking facilities here. Or we could just grab a cup of coffee from Cafe Lutece, but either way, hurry!
And I'm sure in all my time here I've made a coffee.
Coffee. Need coffee.
I made a lot of coffee shit, dear God. Coffee, bravios. Delicious crisp croissant combo. Delicious. Then Farina stuff. Let's just give her the,
Strong, bitter coffee beans, transformed through expert brewing and balanced perfectly with rich, creamy steam milk. Wonderful.
Is that what I gave you?
I feel much better now. Thank you so much, Traveler and Paimon.
I'm actually mildly curious as to what she would have said if I gave her Farina's special dish.
Glad to hear it, but make sure to catch up in your sleep when you get the chance.
How goes the investigation?
I think I figured out where the problem lies. Honestly, it's ridiculous. I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Wait, what investigation? What are you guys talking about?
I'll save it for when everyone else gets here. It's so stupidly small. I can't believe it's caused so much drama.
Yet look at this kitchen. Seems like you had your own share of failed experiments last night.
Yes, except my failures were stepping stones to success.
Escoffier, have you seen Savannah?
Huh? No, not since yesterday. Why? What's wrong?
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all a little concerned about how she was doing. So, I dropped by her place early this morning to check on her. Only to find an empty house with the doors wide open. I left Alphonse and the others to keep watch at her home, while I checked the Hotel de Bord. I'm worried something bad might have happened. If she's not here, then where could she be?
Boss, Escoffier, bad news.
What's up?
Alphonse? You're supposed to be keeping watch at Savannah's house.
We were, but then, just after you left, we found this stuff in her house.
Oh, looks like a map with a bunch of random places circled. What does it mean?
Wait a second. This feels familiar. I'm sure these places are all connected somehow. Of course, from the Codex. They're all places that Modeste explored on his adventures.
Modeste? The founder of Hotel de Bois?
Yeah, but I don't understand. The adventure logs in the Codex are too fragmented to be of any use. How come this map shows all the missing details?
The Codex de Bord? Then, this place marked in red out at sea. Could that be the fabled birthplace of Gâteau de Bord?
Seriously? So now she set her sights on finding the original recipe and beating Escoffier that way? Geez, Savannah. Anything to overcome a gâteau plateau, huh?
Honestly, I respect the effort.
Does she have a death wish? Those ruins are thousands of years old.
Hold on. There's more. Besides the map, we also found these letters.
A letter received several months ago. It was you. You let Delumune, didn't you? I know you're responsible for purchasing the problematic ingredient that day. Yeah, of course it was her. It had to be her. What would your good friend think, I wonder, if she learned that she suffered on account of your negligence? What would the people in the hotel think? So I imagine you'd like to keep the secret from Escoffier, wouldn't you, head chef Savannah? A letter received several weeks ago. Retrieve the real codex by any means necessary. That's where the real treasure can be found. And you gave it away like a fool. Well then, you're going to get it back. Whether in a bet or by force, it doesn't matter. Oh, I know. Don't you have that cooking showdown of yours? And if you don't think you can win, well, you simply need to have your opponent lose. I imagine that assistant of yours might come in handy for that regard. A letter received not long ago. What are you dawdling for? She was the one who concealed the secret recipe in the first place. Why else do you think you've never been able to recreate her work? She's afraid to outshine her. What do you imagine everyone says about you, both within and behind the hotel walls? Ordinary. They call you untalented, a hack, a failure who can never surpass Escoffier. And you know whose fault that is? That's right, it's hers. She's no saint. Never has been. So why hesitate?
It was you. You let the Lumaline through, didn't you? It sounds like a threat letter. Does this mean that Savannah was responsible for the safety incident? And not Monica after all?
Retrieve the codex by any means necessary. So the cooking contest and the cheating. Someone else was behind her pulling the strings?
She's keeping the true recipe to herself.
Ugh, this is all such a mess. Paimon needs a second to process this. First, we thought that Savannah forced Monica to cheat in the cooking contest. But now, it turns out that someone else forced Savannah to force Monica to cheat?
There's a lot of forcing going on here. Have you guys ever heard of consent? So did Savannah blackmail Monica? Or is it the other way around? Meanwhile, somewhere deep beneath the sea, under the sea.
Of course.
Under the
I should
sea.
have put two and two together as soon as I read your threat letter. The food safety incident. The demand for a cooking contest. The instruction to blackmail Monica. Even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me. It was all part of your grand plan, wasn't it, Monica?
Twist the villain! I didn't even see that shit coming. What the hell?
We should be getting close to the spot marked on the map.
Of all the stupid things she's done, this really takes the cake. The moment we find her, I'm gonna curse the living daylights out of her.
Cryo
What's
team.
happening?
Cryo team. Da 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 da. Cryo team.
I knew you'd miss me.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. You're not cryo, but you fit the gimmick. Knows how to cook good food. Loves cake. Knows how to cook good food. Cryo. That's literally it. I have no excuse for Chi-Chi. Does making medicine count as cooking? Sure, why not? Cook team, go! Cook team, that's just a cryo team, go! I could have made the last one Jean, but I just didn't want to. It's as simple as that. I didn't want to make the last person Jean. What a lovely place.
Whoa, this place looks like an underwater restaurant, doesn't it? Suddenly, the idea of an adventure chef finding secret ingredients makes a whole lot more sense.
What you're saying is you want me to pull for a Escoffier.
Justice Codex mentioned this place. A public bath from the time of Remoria. So yeah, definitely the kind of place that would have served food and drinks.
Huh?
Blubber beasts.
Some blubber beasts have come to join the party? How did they get here?
Dying swimming underwater.
Aw, they ran off.
Guess they're not used to seeing humans. Let's head further in.
That could be easier said than done. Something's blocking the entrance.
Puzzles!
Well, did Modeste mention it in his adventure logs by any chance? They must have gotten through somehow.
Good point. Yes, that's right. It's coming back to me now.
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away on the current, they broke into a joyous chorus, and the path opened to us.
So make food for the blubber beasts.
We have to feed the blubber beasts? With what? There's nothing here besides rocks, romaritime flowers, and lumitoile. See, this is why you should always bring snacks. You never know when you're gonna need them. Now we have to head all the way back to shore and grab some.
Woman, I have like 5 restaurants in my backpack.
There's no time for that. Romaritime flowers and lumitoile will have to do. They may not look appetizing to us, but who knows? They could be blubber beast delicacies.
Wait, we're seriously gonna try this?
You collect your You collect shits. Okay. Cut. Cut. Three. Can you stop for a second, please? I do math. Okay, so I need 4 more blues. So the math doesn't work out here. 6. So 5 free, then no. 5 freed and 6 gives 2 in the end. Another 2, that won't work either. 4, 5 free 4. That works. Five, 3, 4.
Blubber beasts or not, are we sure this stuff is edible?
Trust me, they'll love it.
More pertinently, how do we actually feed it to them?
Oh, good question. If we try to put them in the pool, we'll probably just scare them off again, and who knows how long they'll be gone.
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double back. What was it that Modeste said again? Something about the food flowing away on the current.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. This is the one that leads to Blubber Beasts?
The tracks turned back again. Oh, so annoying.
Where's the Blubber Beast? It's over there, right? I think it's over there. Stay on path. Is that where the Blubber Beast was?
Wow, it's really singing! It must taste better than Paimon thought!
Oh, there must be a Blubber Beast in each of them. Okay. Okay, now we need 6 red. 3, 1, 5. Alright, so what it's showing me is where the thingies are. So, 1 rotate, 2 rotate, go away. Nom 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 nom, delicioso!
Hey, it's open!
open.
Treasure! Alright, before I move on, I want to test something.
Up to the freezer.
Where's the thingy?
A dash of frosting.
Wait, what? I thought...
Let the show begin.
Okay, apparently I don't know how to make this thing cook.
A little amuse bouche.
Boba, get them!
I'm guessing it's not working because I don't own Escoffier. Hey, Escoffier, how do I cook with you? Ah, the hold form of it. Okay.
Bon appetit.
There we go. Nothing seems to be coming out of it. Alright, so I guess it doesn't work since I don't own her. Alright, let's try one more time, then I'll give up. Alright, I give up. It's not giving me food. I tried. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Some time ago.
Hey, give me your water.
Here.
I said your water, the one you just drank out of?
What? Why? You bitch.
All those years slaving away under Escoffier, and then you. Today, it's finally paying off. Not only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my little lapdog. Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know where to lay the explosives. Did you not hear me? Get going.
Why don't you do it yourself?
Oh, when did you learn to fight back? You're always so compliant when I give you instructions by letter.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear, if I'd known what you were planning, I'd never have...
Don't be so self-righteous. Admit it, you've always been jealous of Escoffier. That's why you lapped up everything I told you. You were terrified of her finding out about your part in the Lumiline incident, and you resented the way her reputation hung over you. So you jumped at the chance to convince yourself that she was the villain, that she deliberately hid her secret recipes from you just to hold you back. It was the only excuse you needed to justify getting back at her. First, idolization, then jealousy, suspicion, and self-deception. That's what this comes down to.
It was the same story with Savelli and my ancestor. He offered Modeste his friendship, only to murder him out of vanity. He promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I even found this place. You have no idea the countless hours I spent piecing it all together. So you see, you're no better than Savelli. If you can't beat him, betray him, right?
I am no Savelli, nor will I ever be.
Oh, put a lid on it. You really think you can absolve yourself of your vindictive and jealous behavior now? Just because you finally realize that Escoffier never kept any secrets from you? You didn't show any remorse when she left, or in the cooking contest. Why start now? You have no right to redemption.
You're right. I don't deserve her forgiveness. But I am done being bullied into submission by you!
Ooh, feisty. But you should watch your tone. Talking to me like that could get you in big trouble.
I somehow doubt that. Since I poisoned both our water bottles.
What?
Ever since I learned the truth, I've been biding my time, waiting for this moment. You've played me like a fiddle for so long, and now this is payback!
But you drank it too.
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica!
You.
What's so funny?
Oh, you're too much. I thought I'd play along for a bit just to amuse myself. You gave a very rousing performance. I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles, just clean, fresh water.
No.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, you know? Did you really think your half-baked plot would fool me? You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain, too. A complete waste of space. No wonder you never amounted to anything.
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now, I failed again, for the last time.
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life? You got a good laugh out of me. But now the show's over. You should have just done like I asked, Savannah. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me. But you had your chance, and now it's time to say goodbye.
Oh fuck, where'd you get the knife from?
Right there.
Let her go, Monica! We've got you surrounded!
Escoffier?
Ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little longer.
You can't!
Stay back if you want her alive! Escoffier and the Traveler. I can't take you both on in combat, but if you so much as flinch, I can end Savannah's life in a heartbeat.
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve by this? You're about to commit murder, and for what? A recipe?
A recipe? You chefs are all blinded by your myopic focus on kitchen affairs. Well, some of us actually have bigger fish to fry. Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius, the je ne sais quoi factor in his Gâteau de Bourg, and it's right here in these ruins.
Are you serious? You're here because of a Gâteau de Bourg obsession? You've gone completely mad!
I couldn't care less about the cake itself. No, the real treasure is the secret ingredient that Modeste sourced from these ruins. He and Savelli were fools. A priceless treasure of Remoria in the palms of their hands, and they thought, ooh, this would go great in our cake mix. We're talking about a powerful stimulant that also sharpens the senses. That's no cooking ingredient. It's a groundbreaking drug. That's right, I've done my research. It was a drug that Remoria developed for their war machine. I could make a killing by selling it to the treasure hoarders or the Fatui.
Will you listen to yourself? You're completely delusional.
My eyes are wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on this treasure. You'll see what a fool you've been.
Wait, what's that sound?
Bombs.
Just when I thought she couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't collapse.
Seems like she escaped in the commotion. Let's find another route and go after her.
Uh-oh, Savannah's gone too.
Of course she is.
Monica must have taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only taken her hostage because she knows that she's no match for you.
Well, there's one piece of good news. At least Savannah's safe for now.
That's true. Even if she finds the treasure, she'll need Savannah alive if she wants to get out of here in one piece.
I love the vision bow so much.
Our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route.
Alright, magical line. The magical line isn't working.
The water looks pretty deep here. Maybe it leads somewhere.
Alright, let's see. Oh, you guys don't give items? Lame. Oh shit, I genuinely didn't realize that was a Fontaine character.
They were probably awakened by the explosion just now.
Why the fuck are these?
Knife Skills 101. Time for some rough chopping.
Dude, we're shredding for their health, goddamn! Holy shit, what is this damage? What was that damage? I shredded that with a shield up, holy... I know my Chi-Chi and my Farina are pretty well made, but like... Escoffier clearly buffed our... Actually, I should actually read that. Following the Exalted Harmost order, and in accordance with our Sebastos' most sacred, most benevolent temper, we establish here a blank as condolences for the naturalized barbarian soldiers, savages they may have been, but they were also warriors. With this secret treasure granted graciously, the warriors' bodily desires are satisfied, that they may fight on with hundredfold bravery. Why are you breathing hard? You're a zombie. You shouldn't feel exhaustion.
Another door? Guess we need to prepare another feast for our guests.
He placed the ingredients he collected on the table. What if I want to cook his Chi-Chi? There are no requirements, so just need 2 of flavor of fruit. Can I get a 2? 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 They're actively refusing to give me a 2. Understood. 6. That's too much. 6. That's too much. 5. That's still too much. 3. That'll work. Enjoy, Mr. Blubber Beast.
It seems to really like the texture of Rome maritime flowers.
Okay, we need free cold.
A little moose boosh.
4, 2, 5, 3. Will it reach before it turns? Okay, good. Whoa!
I'll protect us. Life goes on. Faster? Okay, faster.
I never knew you could process Lumitol like that. Alright, I've got to jot this down.
Please don't.
Limitols and maritime flowers. This could open the door to a whole new world.
Yep, that's literally the plan. Wait, hold on. Which door are you talking about?
A whole new, a brand new place I never knew. I don't remember the rest of the song. It's crystal clear, and now I'm in a whole new, now I'm in a whole new world. If I had some lyrics with me, I could beat that song up. I could tear this roof down.
That's strange. These don't look Romorian to me. More like last century Fontaine.
They don't look all that worn either. Could they have been left by previous adventurers?
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh? Oh, Modeste and Savelli, do you think they camped here?
Maybe.
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date.
Let's rummage around. They may have left a journal or something.
Oh, you really think so?
Trust our adventurers' instincts. We're pros at this stuff, just like you're a pro in the kitchen.
Well, I'm a pro at least.
Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely a pro rummager from all those treasure chests.
And bingo, found it.
Darn it! Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging skills.
Paimon, you have no skills.
No kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well, but I thought that was just me.
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
It's been
years since I've last visited these ruins. It's exactly the way I remember it. This place probably hasn't changed in millennia. Sadly, up above, on dry land, everything has changed. The treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. It turned Gateau de Boer into a national sensation. Our limited stock of the substance meant that the Gateau could only be produced on a small scale. But this only drove up the popularity all the more. Modeste was right about that too. He predicted all of it. He was praised as a genius, while I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, was labeled a talentless fool. Modeste tried his best to console me, but I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf was between us. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite further disdain by inserting myself where I did not belong? I told myself that maybe one day, when I finally created a masterpiece of my own, I'd be able to face him without shame. Or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face, how about we go on one more adventure, for old time's sake? Unfortunately, that day will never come.
So it was Savelli. From the sounds of it, he came back after Modeste had already died.
I always thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, then this must be the place where they found their secret ingredient, the birthplace of Gateau de Boer.
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true, maybe Savelli really did have something to do with it.
Let's keep reading.
The taste of Gateau de Boer has changed. Modeste was convinced of this, even though everyone swore they couldn't tell. Being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in his work. He stopped all sales of the product, locked himself away in the kitchen, and worked day and night, vowing to find out where he had gone wrong. But as he baked and taste tested over and over again, he found he only strayed further and further from the original taste. It was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. What had changed was not the Gateau, but his sense of taste. The treasure of Remoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, it offers people the ultimate gourmet experience, but in the long term, it dulls their senses entirely. In hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their senses? But we realized it too late. We were just too late. Over the course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of Remoria. He consumed it all himself. The finest culinary talent of his generation now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again. Finally, in despair, he took his own life.
The fuck?
And because we had become estranged, I could not be there to stop him, to offer some words of comfort, or even to say goodbye. Yet despite everything, he sent me his final letter.
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was really onto something. It really was a kind of drug.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, why all the rumors that Savelli murdered him? Also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Remoria. It's almost as if someone deliberately erased it from history.
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail, and how much more devastating it is when it happens. Did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public about the dangers of Gateau de Bourg, proving that I had been right all along. But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall from grace would be swift and merciless. 1 minute a genius, the next a joke. It would surely spell the end for his restaurant, too. What would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the scorn shown to him by the history books. I cannot let that come to pass. I will do what I must to protect his name. It will mean tampering with his notes to remove the damning details, leaving mere fragments of our story behind. It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. But if that's the price of destroying all evidence of my crimes, then so be it. I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation in tatters. The final loose end is the evidence here, at the bottom of the sea.
Oh no. You've got to stop Monica.
Huh? What's wrong? Didn't we say Savannah should be safe for now?
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there's no telling what she might do.
Anything in here? Any secret treasure chests? No. The barbarians who take blank are gradually losing part of blank. There's no cause for worry. Desire to break free from the forms of flesh and blood is also the first step guiding them to accepting civilization.
The treasure of Remoria. I have found you at last.
Please tell me just knocked her out and stab her.
Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. Some fragments of his diary escaped your clutches, and we have held on to them for generations. But I have to thank you too, Savannah.
Do you have two sets of eyebrows?
Help retrieving the codex, and with it the last piece of the puzzle, I may never have found this place. But now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp. The
No, I guess I imagined
Remoria
things.
is mine.
No, it definitely was like, what the fuck is that? Why do you have two sets of eyebrows in your right eye?
It's empty. It's empty?
Monica? Oh, we were seconds too late.
Escoffier? What's the deal with that jar?
Savelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make sure it would never harm anyone again. So he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last shred that remained.
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing together the truth. All
No, she definitely has two eyebrows. The fuck?
All that for an empty jar?
Monica, don't do anything stupid. This ruin is more dangerous than you realize.
Plus, it's a really nice jar. Breaking it would be a waste.
Oh, shut your pie hole!
No, the nice jar!
To Lord Remus. You barbarian shall be slain.
Escoffier saved her, I'm guessing.
She's a nutcase, a liability to herself and everyone else. Well, now it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made. Take these golems out.
Yes, chef. Oh, did I drop Goba and not notice it? Wait, when did I drop Goba? I probably just did it on habit.
Why is this place
Maybe it's because of the fighting? Or maybe because Monica was too trigger happy for explosives.
Either way, it's all her fault. Enough chit-chat. Let's get out of here, Traveler. Escoffier, come on!
We have to pick up the ladies first.
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh, no, you don't. If I can't get what I want, neither will any of you.
Were we just gonna leave them?
I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
You're a psycho!
Savannah? Oh, when did you wake up?
I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
Hey, we need to go!
Traveler? Okay, let's go!
Also, are we gonna pick up the bodies or are we just leaving them to die? Leaving her to die, okay then. These characters really don't use the regular hero rules of we must save everybody, do they?
Escoffier! Savannah!
Traveler! And Paimon!
Venejem, what are you all doing here?
We thought you were gonna die. Why else would we be here?
Expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and sit on our merry derrieres? While the Traveler and Escoffier were out here risking their lives?
Appreciate you, man.
We had to do something. Even though that something ended up being, well, waiting for you here instead.
I don't deserve any of you. And I certainly don't deserve to be your head chef. It was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Then I couldn't live up to her standards. I acted like a tyrant in the kitchen. And now I almost got myself killed. Come back, Escoffier. Come and be our head chef again. I'll never be able to replace you.
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left, it just went in one ear and out the other?
Huh? Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time. All I could think about was the Lumiline situation. What was it you said again?
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job because of you. And you're not nearly as awful a chef as you think. If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
I mean, technically they said they came for us.
Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do things over a lot. But when it comes down to it, you're the one who's always doing whatever it takes to make sure the customers get served on time, every time.
Things were pretty rough after Escoffier left, and Savannah's the only reason we've been able to make it through.
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. But the fact is, they keep coming back. If that's not an endorsement of your work, I don't know what is. At the end of the day, we're all human, and we all make mistakes. All we can do is recognize where we get it wrong and do our best to improve. That's all that's humanly possible.
No, I get what you're saying, but what I did to Fermat and to Escoffier, it's unforgivable.
Well, about that, there's someone else here to see you, Chef.
Let me guess,
It's been a
Fermat?
while, Chef Savannah.
Fermat? I'm so sorry. I put far too much pressure on you. And the way I stubbornly refused to go and see you after you fell ill. There's no excuse. But I'm too late, aren't I? The damage is done. I heard that You can't even hold a kitchen knife anymore.
Actually, I think I'm going to be just fine.
Huh?
Agreed, huh?
I thought Firmin's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, it got Firmin thinking. And then he remembered the tea that Monica used to give him every night. And as it turns out, she was lacing it with Lumaline the whole time.
No way! Doesn't that cause nerve damage?
It can. High doses pose a risk of serious nervous and sensory complications. But if you calculate the dosage carefully, you can control the extent of its effects. A small dose might simply make a person more emotional, whether that means more fragile or more hot-tempered.
No wonder it seemed like you'd lost your edge.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks are pretty small. They also fixed me up with some meds and said I should recover in no time.
You're already sounding a lot more confident.
Well, that's what happens when you give someone a little bit of hope to cling on to.
There's more. We believe that Firmin was likely not Monica's only victim.
You mean she poisoned me too?
Oh, so that's why Savannah's been so irritable this whole time!
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumaline. That stuff can only amplify what's already there. So tasty food will seem like the most delicious thing in the world, while food you don't particularly care for will become utterly revolting.
Still doesn't. I'm still not gonna blame her too much because we've seen that Escoffier can be a bitch in the kitchen too, and yet we're considering her probably in the right. So that is no more of a bitch than Escoffier is. She's had her bitchiness increased tenfold.
So you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize to every single person you've wronged.
Why don't you do so too, Escoffier? Again, she just showed your attitude, but worse.
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me. Why is it that no matter what I do, my Gâteau de Bourg never tastes the same as yours? Is it just... I mean, is it because you're a genius and I'm not?
It's because the heating element in your oven is broken, you silly goose.
What?
Is that it?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was a half-degree discrepancy between the temperature setting and the actual temperature. All the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that Monica must have tampered with them. I would have figured it out the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams. But of course, Monica sabotaged mine so that could never happen.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, and then you pinpoint the problem in just one night? It all comes back to one simple, undeniable truth. You're a genius, and I'm just plain old Savannah.
Oh, cut it out! Stop the woe is me act for a second and just think. I came up with this recipe. You don't think that might have something to do with it? Do you know how long I spent perfecting my Gâteau de Bourg? 3 years! 3 whole years! I know this dish inside out, back to front and upside down. And you've been head chef now for what, 6 months? If that? A couple hundred failed attempts, and you're gonna throw in the kitchen towel and declare you'll never be successful because you're not a genius. You clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt, or just how long it took me to finally get my recipe to a level I was satisfied with. Genius or not, everyone makes mistakes. Modeste did, Savelli did, everyone does. You're only a lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistakes, learn from them, and then keep chipping away until you crack the problem once and for all. Surely you haven't forgotten all that. You were no lousy chef back when I handed you the reins.
I haven't forgotten. And I'll make sure I never do.
That's our head chef. Haha! Sounds like we won't need another changing of the guard in the Hotel de Bord kitchen anytime soon. Huzzah!
Aw, what a perfect ending to a crazy journey. Look how happy everyone is.
So you got your mojo back now?
Yeah. Thanks to you, Escoffier. In fact, no. Thanks to all of you.
Aw, friends again. So nice to see them finally settle their beef.
Yeah, it's night, but maybe not all their beef.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch right now.
But that was mostly Monica's fault, wasn't it?
Right. And also, does it have to be right now? Savannah's only just got her mojo back, and you barely escaped from a death trap.
No excuses. This is a cooking contest between two top chefs, and nothing will stand in its way. So grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is happening today. Right now, this instant.
Hey, so, this whole time you were salty about losing?
The second cooking contest commences now!
I want Savannah to win just to make Escoffier more annoyed.
And no holding back.
Also, her having a machine that she doesn't have access to is very unfair. Paimon's taking Monica's spot. Is that a pancake? No, that's just the top part of the cake. It clearly can't be all that good. Your clothes didn't rip off in orgasmic bliss. What good's an orgasm where your clothes stays on? Savannah, don't.
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Hey, what are you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like. So?
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
I'll do it.
The results are in! A landslide victory for Escoffier!
Quite rightly, too. Piece of cake.
Literally. Her tail seems very happy with the results. Why did she give it that setting?
Oh yeah, look at that! Savannah looks pretty chipper too, considering she lost.
This wasn't for you, was it? You did this for Savannah's sake.
Now, where were we? Yes. Do you have any more questions for me after everything that's happened?
What are your future plans? Are you gonna stay at the Flusandra?
I thought Navia would have filled you in. And actually, I said all this to Savannah before I left. Although, as we saw, I don't think any of it sank in. I had two reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course. But the other was that the Hotel de Bord had reached a point where it didn't need me anymore. So I decided to step down and look for new opportunities to improve myself.
Improve how?
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow chef from Niue, and in her, I saw so many new possibilities.
Why is she backflipping
She had
to your
that same
mind?
adventurous spirit that Modeste and
Backflip
Sibeli had in
part.
their youth. Slime mucus, lizard tails. With her, nothing's off the table. There's a whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be explored, hiding away in ingredients we overlook. Case in point, remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins? I used them in the cooking contest just now. Did you taste the difference?
What? Paimon didn't notice at all.
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs and figuring out the exact constellation of elements that gave their work its signature taste. And the other half, it lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the kitchen. You've got to go out and explore the endless possibilities out there.
Uh-oh. Paimon's suddenly not sure she wants to try your cooking anymore.
Woman, you eat slime. What are you judging her for? I'm always down to be your taste tester. You should definitely make possible to sell all your expensive dishes.
Don't worry, it's not going to be a free-for-all like in Modeste's time. Before I put anything into my food, I'll obviously do my research, make sure it doesn't contain any harmful substances. In the meantime, take this. It's a recipe for Petit Gâteau de Bourg revised version. I tweaked it to suit your needs as busy adventurers. Hope you enjoy, and remember, feedback is always welcome.
All right! So, do you ever see yourself returning to Hotel de Bourg?
Oh, of course. I've already promised Banishem that I'll come back every once in a while to make sure the quality of the food remains at an acceptable level.
Good luck to Savannah, I guess.
You know, Paimon's still a little disappointed that we never got to see the treasure of Remoria. Surely Monica wouldn't have gotten drawn in so deeply if it wasn't for all the mysteries surrounding the original Gâteau de Bourg. She practically dedicated her life to finding the lost pieces of Modeste's diary. Then went to all that trouble to infiltrate the Hotel de Bourg. And in the end, it was all for nothing.
She sold her soul for a dream and bend a rude awakening. Her life's work between a grand exercise and futility.
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, I think I may have figured out the truth. The so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoiles, better known to us as Lumiline.
Huh? So then, why all the hype back in the early days of Gâteau de Bourg?
Don't forget, it was a very different era. We could barely even refine sugar back then, so desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, it's no wonder that the first thing to really excite people's taste buds took the world by storm. And as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times. But these days, it's just another drug from the Fontaine Research Institute. Even if Savelli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt it would be worth that much these days.
So after all that, there was nothing in those ruins but worthless junk. Feels strange to say it, but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She sacrificed it all only to get nothing in return.
Yes, Paimon. Poor, poor Monica.
Hey!
Hi, Navia. Wifey.
Huh? Navia? You just got back from that underwater ruin, right? Well, check it out. They ran a special issue. Did you see anything like this down there? Freshly unearthed from the ruins of Remoria. A magnificent jar thought to be over 1,000 years old. Experts say it has immense artistic and historical value. It could be worth an absolute fortune.
I told her not to break it!
Isn't that the jar they used to hold the treasure?
If only it was still in one piece. Some butterfingers must have dropped it or something. Ugh, it's such a shame.
Treasure above all. Quest complete. Oh, we got the recipe for the cake. Alright, it has been 3 hours now. I was... Wait, hold up, let's grab this. I was going to finish the last set of this, but, got your tab up. You got my tab up a little late. But yeah, while I could do the epilogue and the final batch of stuff now, it's been 3 hours, and I need sleep. So I guess we'll make that last set of the film festival its own video. But first, let's do some polls for the night. We almost have enough for a 10 poll. Can I get what else I need from the store? I have just enough for a 10 poll. Alright, let's see if we can get the chef. We cannot get the chef. Let's see if we can get Eva. Aurora. A copy of Auroron isn't exactly a bad thing to receive. Let's go ahead and trigger that constellation. Looks like I gave Auroron stuff to somebody else. Alright then, well, that's it for today's stream of Genshin Impact. I know I normally say I'll go long when someone else shows up, but let's be real, I'm not actually being watched, it's being put up for the view fodder. Also, I really need to rest.
Let's go somewhere.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream as I made for you all. If you enjoyed and want to see more of my content, you can find me at youtube.com/KingD353. Again, that's youtube.com/KingD353. When I'm not re-uploading streams, I'm uploading episodes. Actually, no, I'm going to stop saying that. At this point, all I'm going to be doing is re-uploading streams. You guys voted on me streaming more often, so I think I'm going to turn all of my YouTube recordings into streams. So I'm probably going to finish off Legacy of the Duelist and Persona 5 as streams. Probably. Still not sure what's the best decision, but I'll figure it out. Also, if you feel I deserve it, you can donate to me at buymeacoffee.com/KingD353. Again, that's buymeacoffee.com/KingD353. Every donation is appreciated. For those of $1, you can help support the channel, as well as help ensure I can eat food. Finally, if you want to spend some time with me, you can join my personal Discord. If you watch this on YouTube, the link's been posted in the description already, most likely. If you watch this on Twitch, it's being posted right now. Once you're there, we will chat, play video games, share memes, and have ourselves a grand old time. Like, comment, and subscribe, and see all you beautiful people later. Deuces, Kingdom. Now, let's see if there's anybody I can raid.
1, 2, breathe, 3, 4, and
This person started streaming at 12:38. So are they the type to stream longer than me? Let's see. Nothing popped up. That means their stream isn't happening anymore. Not as in they canceled, as in they're done streaming.
cooler.
AI Fight Night. What's that mean? What are you doing, friendo? Nope, that person isn't streaming anymore either. So yeah, there's no one to raid. Alright then, deuces Twitch.